Hello there and welcome back to the channel. Well, it's still January, but it's stopped snowing, at least for the time being. It's not raining, it's stopped being foggy, and the sun has come out and there's blue skies. So what's the first thing that enters your head? Yes, it's barbecue time. Now, space saving are bywords for us with micro campers because we just don't have the carrying capacity. So a lot of people like to carry these things, and I hate them for lots of reasons that I'll go into in a few minutes. But what I'm going to try and do today, because I continue to make things, is I'm going to come up with an alternative. So these can be thrown. Instant barbecues have been about for years. They usually cost just a few pounds and at one time were available in all the shops. However, due to the problems caused by their misuse, most reputable shops have stopped stocking them, and their use has now been banned by many councils and country parks. It's probably on the cards they will be banned in the UK at some point in the future. The list of damage caused by these things to property, wildlife and people is extensive. From simple burns to lawns to damaged picnic tables, from burning bins to property and sometimes whole hillsides on fire. Injuries from disposable barbecues way outnumber those of their non-disposable cousins. I think it is the disposability of the products that cause people to treat them with such disregard to the potential hazards posed. If I'm speaking to you with a passion, it's for a very good reason. Look at this. This is the top of a disposable barbecue. Harmless enough, you'd think. But have a look at that edge. Can the camera pick it up? That piece there is about the thickness of a needle. These edges are razor sharp. When people have had their barbecues, if they finally let them cool down, they don't want to carry this mucky barbecue all the way back to the car or wrap it up and take it home. No, they bury it in the sand or leave it on the moor. The problem with that is that animals, people's dogs and everything else like that, if they rub up against this, they're going to get horrific injuries. People bury these in the sand dunes, and as you can imagine, kiddies run around with bare feet. What do you think? Okay, with that, the boring lecture is over. Now, there is no point in criticising something without providing an alternative. And this is it. This is my little creation, and I think it's kind of cool. This is a pre-packaged kit you can take with you for those long summer evenings. Okay, it's not the flat-packed item you'd normally expect from me, but trust me, it's not that big. Coming in a bag about the size of something my kids used to use to carry their pumps in, it can be used first as a barbecue, then as a stove, and even as a fire pit. Yes, it is made from an old gas bottle. Now, a couple of words of warning. Gas bottles usually belong to a company, and two, they tend to be filled with gas, which is explosive. However, a friend gave me this one as it was damaged and so the company wouldn't exchange it. And as you could see, it had a big hole in the top, so no gas in it. All the same, I flushed it out with water a couple of times just for safety. The sharp-eyed amongst you will no doubt have noticed I drew a ring around the top of the bottle. This was for cutting. Now we get to the fun part. I should point out I was wearing work safety glasses for this part, and if you haven't experience of using such tools, you're best asking a friend who is. And with all those sparks, you can now see why there must be no gas left in that bottle. With the top finally cut away and discarded, it is very important that the top edge is filed down smooth. It's well worth taking your time over this, as well as for safety, it does make for a better looking product. Before putting the angle grinder away, I cut a series of slots all around the lower part of the bottle. This allows air to get in to feed the fire within the stove. Notice I gave all the edges a second rub down with the sandpaper to ensure they were all smooth. Next, I gave the bottle, now stove, a few coats of black heat-resistant paint to both protect the outer surface of the metal and create a more pleasing look to the stove. With the main body of the stove completed, all that was left was to place a grill on top for barbecuing. These can be picked up cheaply from internet sites to match the size of your stove. To make the actual stove, I used a cast iron trivet, which with a bit of adaptation sat nicely into the top. A friend gave me another, which although larger, gave a very pleasing look to the stove, and I suppose a greater area for your kettle or pans. You may have noticed I've also added a carrying handle for ease of use. It's made from an old bucket handle and can be easily removed if so desired. Before going on a trip, I usually pre-pack a bag of charcoal and place it inside the stove. Oh, don't forget to pack a lighter. I empty the charcoal into the stove and then reuse the bag the following morning. When the stove is cold, emptying the cold ash back into the bag for disposal. I often throw in the pack a couple of these compressed logs for the fire pit. Well, there you go. We're coming to the end of the program. I hope you found that interesting and of some use. I hope it inspires you to go out and make your own barbecue. Carrying them in a bag is no problem, and it's so much better for the environment. Do remember, please, if you haven't already, to subscribe, comment, share, and give me the thumbs up. As many comments as you can possibly send me. I'm really interested in what you've got to say and suggestions for builds. Hopefully this is a sign of things to come and I can finally get out there and do a bit of camping. Anyhow, till next time, thanks for watching. Bye for now.